Hello, I'm not hearing anything.
So, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to one more webinar of ENRICH in China. My name is Mariana Marques. I am an international consultant at SPI. That is the ENRICH in China Center's project coordinator. And today we're going to talk about the Industry 4.0 landscape in Europe and China. This is the agenda. As you can see, I'm going to do the opening. Then we'll have a presentation titled Short-Term Order Control and Internal Logistics in Industry 4.0 by Burkhard Schallock from Fraunhofer IPK. And afterwards, we'll have a presentation about the upcoming ENRICH in China Matchmaking Tour that will happen in November. Johnny Pan, my colleague from the Chinese office, will present this activity to you. And at the end, we'll have opportunity for questions and answers section. You can type your questions in the question section on your dashboard. And at the end, we'll read them and we'll answer them. So please feel free to write your questions during the presentations, and at the end, we'll answer them. So, as I was mentioning, here are the speakers. Myself, the first one. As I already said to you, I work as an international consultant at SPI, at the International Department Projects. We will have Mr. Burkhard Schallock presenting more in depth about the theme of Industry 4.0. He's a project manager at Fraunhofer IPK with many years of experience in this field. And at the end, we'll have my colleague from the Chinese office, Johnny Pan, who's also a project manager, presenting the matchmaking tour to China. And right now, before we start with the presentations, I would just like to give you some information about the current activities that ENRICH in China is developing. One of our services is the soft landing zones. We have right now 3 certified soft landing zones, BCAC, which is located in Shijiazhuang, Qinxi in Shanghai, and most recently we have Vorsten International, located in Xi'an. These organizations are certified soft landing zones by ENRICH in China, and they provide a series of services to European companies who are interested in going to China. They can help you with localization guidance, or they can offer you a co-working space, can also help you with administrative support, advice in laws and regulations. They can introduce you to the local scientific and business community, and overall they give you a help to access the markets, the knowledge, finance and partners in China. You can go to our website to see more about these soft landing zones and apply to use the services of one of them. Right now, we also have a call for the ENRICH in China community. This community is divided in 3 types of members. We have the external service providers, the members, and the soft landing zones. So if you're a company located in China and you also want to be a certified soft landing zone for China, you can apply. We have a call for applications open until November 22nd, so you can go to our website and apply there if you're interested. So right now, I will pass the word to our first speaker for the day, Mr. Burkhard Schallock. So just give me a minute so I can put his presentation on. So here it is. Burkhard, you can start when you would like to. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I see there are 15 participants, and I will see. Oh, I cannot control it.
If you want to try it now, I think you're able to.
I tried, yes, but it does not move.
Okay,
So,
I can change it for you. There's no problem. If you want to click on top of your screen and then move with the arrows, you have the access. But if you're not able to do it, I can do it for you. There's no problem.
yeah, but it does not react to my, as we did yesterday. So then, can you please?
Yes, I can do it. There's no problem. I can do it for you. Can you just say, please move on to the next slide, and I will do it.
Yes, next, please. So just 2 words about my background, why I feel qualified to talk to you. One is that we are working on MES system, manufacturing execution systems, since more than 20 years. I was involved in several of these projects, and I did set up a learning factory here in Berlin for pharma industry, and since 3 years, a training factory in Nanjing. And by that, I have some insights of what the Chinese market needs and what we can provide. Next. So there will be 3 chapters. The first is the economic trends and the big picture. So why China has to change and what they want from collaboration to Germany. The second chapter will be about that will be the beef. So what is different, or what do we offer and what do we promote in China? And the third is, if you want to promote a solution, then you should also have some rules and techniques to implement it. And that's the third one. Yes, next, please. Next. So China, you will be familiar with that term, has made the strategy China 2025. Why did they do that? Because they do not want to be limited to mass production and low prices with rather low quality, but they want to catch up with the rest of the world. And therefore they made this plan, Made in China 2025. And at the same time, Germany, who has not these rising wages, but has already high wages, they want to be more tailored, customer oriented in their production, and therefore they did set up Industry 4.0. And these 2 programs, they have this very different background, but they have very similar topics. So therefore, China did start a strategic collaboration to Germany. And as you see on the next slide, especially the Yangtze, that's a province, rather rich province. If you turn over, please, to the next slide. You see the Chinese government has done this program Made in China 2025 on the left side. German government has done Industry 4.0 on the right side. And the Jiangsu province, they selected Fraunhofer IPK to be their partner and form a Sino-German Intelligent Manufacturing Research Institute, the SCIMRI, which I work in since 3 years, and this is also the background of my experience in this German-Chinese collaboration. Next, please. So what is it intended to be reached by these tools for Industry 4.0? First is a fast reaction time to customer requirements. This is typical the German view, and the Chinese are approaching to more and more reach there. The second is be able to handle one-piece flow. In the past, we have said that this is impossible and it is much too expensive. We preferred batches, but at least the information infrastructure should be as fast and as dense so that they can handle one-piece flow and all the information that is linked to it. The third point, which is very relevant in China, is to reduce work in progress. So to reduce all the buffers and the stocks that are in the workshop. And I personally have seen a number of companies where they have a large WIP just to be able to deliver immediately. But this cannot continue in the long run. And the fourth point is that it's still mostly a push control and not a pull control. And this change from push to pull, that is also something we are teaching to the Chinese partners. So the aims, these 4 aims, are rather similar between European and Chinese enterprises, but the approach, how to realize that, this is quite different. Next slide, please. So when we talk to Chinese companies, they say, oh, just tell me what technology does Mercedes-Benz, Siemens, Festo, and all these big successful companies use. If we know the technology, then we can follow and be as successful as they are. So there is a view of Chinese companies that 80% of the success factor is technology and maybe 20% the soft facts. But our experience in Germany is that it's maybe 1/3 of technology that leads to success and 2/3 are the soft factors. And this different view is also mirrored in our training courses that we are offering. So we offer elements like robot sensors, product life cycle management, RFIDs, AGVs. Yes, we offer this, but it is only 1/3 of the volume of our training. The majority is how to adopt a customer view, how to do change management, how to do communication and collaboration. And an important point is the performance management. I was in companies seeing robots and asked, what is this robot for? Does it really pay off? And they looked with big eyes to me. What do you mean by pay off? We bought the robot and we are happy. We don't care about costs. It was a party wish that we introduce more robots, and this we did. So it's a totally different view on costs and productivity and on performance in China than in Europe. And performance I put also as soft factors against technology. Next, please. Now, what are the technical solutions that we are supporting and proposing? Next, please. I will come to a structure that is, if you look at the very right of this picture, the shop floor structure after 2015, but with self-organization and supply chain management. If you look to the very left, 1850, start of the Industrial Revolution, there was also a shop floor structure. That means one machine, one worker. And when I introduce from a flow line, you see 1995 to 2015, this is 20 years of lean production, 20 years of Toyota production systems in all big companies worldwide. And I break up these lines as I did in Opel in Germany, then they say, Mr. Schallock, you are returning to the first beginning of the Industrial Revolution if you reintroduce a shop floor structure with unconnected machines. But this is the structure that we see as suitable for smart manufacturing. And although it looks old, it is very new and it needs a very sophisticated production management. Next, please. So just yesterday, I attended a conference in the Mercator Institute of China Studies, and they confirmed our own impression that in China, the software part for production management is rather weak in contrast to many very strong points. So the machine controllers, the lowest level of the SCADA pyramid, they are very often from American, Rockwell and others, and European suppliers, Siemens and other controllers. And above that, what we call the MES layer, there is often nothing, just a manual order management. So this is a real weak point of the Chinese industry, and that was confirmed by many other studies that cover many interviews in China. So therefore, China has a vital interest in learning from Europe, especially Germany, but also other industrialized countries, how to do this short-term management. And the government in China has set up funding programs for Chinese manufacturing enterprises to buy and implement MES systems, so manufacturing execution systems. The funny thing is that we did promote MES systems for many, many years, but now we come to two other versions, which I will bring to you in a minute. The modular shop floor IT, which is much easier to configure, and the self-organizing agent-based production control. And these two are very, very new and exotic to Chinese partners. But we cannot fully-hearted propose an MES system because we are not recommending this anymore here in Europe. Next, please. If you look at the information flow of a normal production, here we took the case of a lawn mower. So it is engineered, raw material is purchased, it's manufactured, assembled, packed, shipped. Then it comes to the store and the line of information stops. So the persons are using the lawnmower. Next, please. So click on it. So this is the traditional pyramid, the production control system pyramid. You have an ERP system, enterprise resource planning system with the long-term data, customer orders and all the static data. Then you have a manufacturing system, then other more process near systems down to the numerical controls and robot controls and the sensors. Next. But if you look at the communication that is necessary within a company, it goes back and forth. And whenever somebody says, oh, here we rearrange our production, this is a headache for the IT department because they have to make so many changes that it costs 10,000s of euro and costs months to be rewritten. Next, please. Next. So we have little elements, functions in the ERP system, functions of the MES, that is factory data acquisition and many other functions. MES alone has about 25 different sub-functions. And then on the SCADA model also, all these subsystems have to be harmonized in a traditional structure. Next, please. So what our approach is to look at the process of production and production control and look which manufacturing element does use what data, which assembly element, what does the packaging need. So we distribute these sub-functions along the process chain, including the last step, and you will see in a minute or in a second why. Please turn the page. Yes, you would ask, where can all these subsystems with their functions be placed and held? How can that all be in local computers? No, it does not have in local computers. It can be in a cloud, as we also store and see programs in a cloud in another project, and we can call these services via adapters and the infrastructure that we have to be used in the different processes. Next, please. This was too fast. If you go back one step. Yeah, and here you see the lawnmower again, which possibly breaks down. So a smart lawnmower will know what part did break. It makes a self-diagnosis, or via your mobile phone, you interlink to the central database of the lawnmower producer. He detects the defect and he will send automatically the right spare part. And on your watch, the Apple Watch, there you see it will be indicated now your spare part had arrived, and here is a print out the documentation how to change the part. So that is the idea of smart manufacturing in the decentralized apps in the cloud. Yes, next, please. So what is behind the idea of modular shop floor control? You have seen in this hierarchy that MES systems are very expensive, sometimes several €100,000, and it takes months to set them up and often weeks to change them. In contrast to that, the setting up of a shop floor IT, information technology, is very quick and flexible. Why is it called modular? The modular shop floor IT consists of little process modules. You have seen that we have linked little building blocks to the different processes, and this represents sub-functions as move, report, the test result, get next product. And all this came from a real case at Audi in Germany, where they we found out with them that only 28 of these little sub-functions could represent the whole production line of their cars and their newly developed cars. So these building blocks, the 28 altogether, can quickly be assembled and reassembled to a complete process flow model. And this shop floor IT can execute these processes while triggering machining or transport functions, or it can trigger information processing modules. It can also give instructions to worker what they should do if the process is not automized. Next, please. Here you see the general structure of this modular shop floor IT. In the middle is the execution engine. You see the orders that are given in by the user above in the product configurator. And then you see a little model. So you might not be familiar with that. You just have to believe it, that this is the process model, and the execution engines go step by step by step what's in the model and triggers the different machines. In the right lower part, you see I just took 3 robots. So this shop floor IT triggers the machines or transport devices and other equipment. And then in the upper right part, you see a performance board. So it also evaluates all the activities that took place on the shop floor. Next, please. Since my first day in China, or my first visit in a company there, they asked, well, we have bought so many different machines, which is right. They did not think about the controllers. They just bought the machines that have the lowest price or have a good reputation, whatever it is. In the software world, we call that like a zoo with many different animals. So they have many different controllers, and they say, how can we connect them? Not any company of them 2 years ago had an idea how to connect the different equipment elements. And so we have promoted right from the first day these adapters, OPC UA servers. So this as a standard to have these adapters, and more I see in China also that there is a OPC UA community with many German companies involved, and they are promoting this standard. So this is the solution, how to connect the machines to such a either MES system or this execution engine. Next, please. Another element is how to look at the performance. So we also have developed in a different project a performance board that can be linked to this process model. And whenever you change something in the process model, you will see a different dashboard with different parameters. So this is the most flexible way. Even individual views can be brought into any of what we call the model-based industry cockpit, to look on your iPhone or to look on your any smart device and see wherever you are. If you are sitting on your balcony at home, you see how well your factory does perform. Next. And the other very advanced way to control a production is by self-organizing agent-based order control. Together with another Fraunhofer Institute of Microsystems, they developed this little device that you see in the middle, the size of 2 sugar pieces. And this we attach to machines, to parts, to transport devices, to all elements that have to communicate to each other. And so they are negotiating their way through the production. They are, in this case, a gearbox manufacturing, we have 80 machines and 5 process steps. So if each process step has about 4 to 6 parallel machines, and they wanted to have the optimal routing through these 80 machines, and say we cannot do that with any traditional production control method, but only with these self-organizing, agent-based order control, we are able to let this workshop run on its own. And here you see a worker using a smart device, and he can redirect any jobs that were proposed, and where he does not want to use that machine, he can say no, use any other machine for this step. Next, please. And we had an MES implementation here at Siemens in Berlin. So we calculated what would be the best effect. So you see it is a good effect of 10 to 20% in all important performance areas, but the big effect is in the reduction of effort of coordination and communication, the second but last, and the time reduction for planning and control. So before they had meetings on Monday, a second meeting on Tuesday, and one higher level meeting on Wednesday, just to follow the big orders and to monitor the factory. And all these rounds of high-level production organization people, they were not necessary anymore after this advanced shop floor management system. So therefore, I consider Industry 4.0 as a real revolution, because I'm very close to this production management task. In many other areas, there will not be such severe changes as in production management. Next, please. Now we come to the third and last chapter. Next, please. How to transform a company. So it's not enough if I show you these slides and I would say this is the future. If you are a manager of a company, you may have your doubts. Is this really good or not? So what we do in Germany, in Europe, and in China is that we model the process. You have sometimes seen some process model parts. We perform a simulation if it's necessary, and because there is always a change of mindset necessary, we use the method of learning factories to change this mindset. Next, please. So I cannot give you in such a short time the real introduction of the process modeling, but you see in the middle with the red blocks are the products. So there is the value adding part in the middle, and in the upper area with these blue elements, this is the information management, all the control, the feedbacks, the summing up. And in the lower part, it is the resources. Resources may be people, machines, software, whatsoever. So we use this enterprise model to have an as is as well as a to be status. And by that, we really can show to the companies, is this right as we captured your as is situation? And do you follow that we want to have this or that to be situation using the model? Next, please. So the model can, as I said, be used to shape IT systems, to shape who is responsible for what, and also to determine at what point do we have to take the key performance indicators. And one role that we used the model for even 10 years ago with Hella, a big lamp producer in Germany, is to replace the printed quality handbook by this model, because all the information that you need in a quality handbook, who is responsible, what are the processes, all is in this model. Next, please. Simulation. So when we proposed to the General Motors Europe, which is Opel, that they should have this agent-based order control, they said, well, I listen to your words, but I do not fully trust this solution. It sounds too weird. Please, can you simulate that? And then we see how the material flow is, what the throughput time is, what the utilization rates are. And I believe that the demand for such simulations will grow, and with Industry 4.0, also the ability to model a new production line that does not yet exist and to model a production control method is possible, easier than in the past. And so we should make more use of it to convince companies in Europe as well as in China to use more advanced production management systems. Next, please. The last element of our implementation model is the learning factory, and we are experiencing more and more that in the Chinese environment, industrial environment, it is more a command structure. So a department manager or a plant manager says how the plant should be run and everybody follows. This can be a powerful mass production method, but it cannot be strong in the future. So we require more a local decision making and more responsibility. But this means a change of mindset. And what we are doing in our 1-week course in our training factory in Nanjing is that we have a Industry 1.7 line. You see that very vaguely in this straight line of tables, manual work. Then we have, let's say, 2.2, Industry 2.2 automated line, which is very rigid and cannot cope with individual products. And then we change to a third line, which is not in this picture. And there is AGVs and all the technology. So by gradually improving the flexibility and improving the digitization, we teach them how to work together, how to judge investment and benefits, and to work in this new structure. Next, please. So to sum it up, the Chinese industry is in a deep restructuring phase, and all what they want to reach is written in the Made in China 2025, which is rather similar from the wording as the Industry 4.0. But, and especially in China, they want to have MES systems or something, some forms of short-term shop floor management, which is already established in Europe, but not in China. And we have the experience to develop and implement these systems, and we have the ability to qualify staff. And these both parts, I think, makes us a valuable partner for the Chinese industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Burkhard, for your presentation. We're going to now pass the floor to my colleague, Johnny Penn, who is going to present you some information about one of our upcoming activities, the Enriching China Matchmaking Tour that will take place in November in China. So Johnny, when you want, please go ahead. I will give you the access to the keyboard to change the slides.
Okay. So can you hear me well now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Johnny,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Pan. I'm an international consultant based at SPI China office. So today I'm going to introduce about the upcoming matchmaking tour in November. Okay. So I can change the slide now. Okay. Okay. So before I introduce the matchmaking tours in November, I'm going to show you some example of how we were organized in the past few years. So as this slide shows, so last year we organized the activities in Suzhou, Wuxi, and Shenzhen on the November 11 to November 16th. So, and during the missions, so our participants had chance to visit the leading technology innovation companies and participate in the thematic seminars with networkings and the B2B section in the city, Suzhou, Wuxi, and Shenzhen. So during these missions, so they are able to explore the cooperation opportunities between the EU delegation and the Chinese enterprise. Then I'm gonna show you the next slide. Okay, so this is another matchmaking tool we organized April this year. So this matchmaking tool is focused on the healthcare sectors. So during this tour, we have organized the Sino-European Healthcare Cooperation Workshop, and we had a very fruitful discussion among the European and the Chinese stakeholders. And also, our delegation also has chance to participate in the Taihu Mashan Life Science and Healthcare Forums with more than 2,000 participants in this forum. So they are able to discuss internally with other stakeholders and to have the very fruitful discussions. Okay, and the next one. Yes, so this year in November, so we are going to organize the matchmaking tool in the cities of Chengdu, Shenzhen from November 11 to 15. So it's organized by the ENRICH in China. So during this matchmaking tool, you could establish the connection with the key Chinese tech-based companies and the research institute. Also, you could visit leading Chinese innovators and ENRICH in China regional hub to engage in the networking and the B2B activities. And you will also have the chance to participate in the China High Tech Fair and the EU-China Business and Technology Cooperation Fair in Shenzhen and Chengdu. For both event, you can have the free access. Okay, next one. So let's take a look at this Chengdu. So Chengdu is the initial station of the Chengdu-Europe Express Railway to Poland. And Chengdu is also listed as one of the next decade's fastest growing cities globally. The international airport is ranked the first in the Midwest China flights to Amsterdam, London, Paris, Frankfurt, and Moscow. And the Chengdu, there are 14 consulate generals that are already settled in Chengdu. The leading industry in Chengdu are the ICT, environment, new renewable energies, new materials, and the biopharmaceuticals and the modern agriculture. Okay, next one. Yes, so this is about the EU-China Business Technology Cooperation Fair that we will organize during on the 11th to the 13th November. So this fair has been held since 2006, and this is the largest platform for the investment, trade, and technology cooperation between the EU and China. And the topic of the fair this year will be focusing on the ICT, Industry 4.0, clean tech, maritime, advanced materials, biopharmaceutical, and education. So during the fair, you may have chance to meet with over 30 most competitive clusters in China and have matchmaking with the Chinese counterparts from more than 1,000 of enterprises. And the fair will gather more than 1,000 participants from the companies, governments, clusters, business associations, university, R&D institutes from different parts of China. Okay, next one. Yes, so this is the agenda for the Chengdu on the November 10 to November 12th. So, so during the fair, we are going to organize the several activities on the 11th and to 12th of November in Chengdu. And we expect all the participants would arrive one day earlier. So it's on the 10th of November. So all the participants will be arrive in Chengdu and to make the registration of the fair. Then we will brief you about the two agendas. And then the informal dinner will also be arranged. And on the 11th of the November, so on Monday, so there will be an opening ceremony and also the plenary sections focusing on the Sustainable World City Summit. There will also be several parallel sections in the afternoon, such as the Nordic Sustainable City Seminars, which is focusing on the smart city development, eco-city construction, and green building materials. And also there will be sections focusing on the EU-China Water Development Forum, and also the Tech Week Chengdu and the B2B meeting. So for the B2B meeting, it is designed to attract all the players from the high-tech industry to learn and to connect with the industry innovators and technology service providers and the researchers from Europe and China. On the Tuesdays, so we're going to have another B2B sections. So during these two B2B sections, you might have chance to meet with many Chinese stakeholders from different types of sectors. Okay, next one. So I'm going to give you some introduction of one of the parallel section, which is called the Take Up Chengdu, that we will organize this year. So this Take Up Chengdu is one of the section organized by UPIC and co-organized by the ENRICH in China. So in this event, so it's going to bring together the cutting-edge tech companies around the world and help the international tech companies to find the right path to enter and matchmaking with the correct resource of the local system. And in these sections, so you may present your products and your companies So if you are tech-based companies with a ready products and plan to explore the opportunities in Chinese market, so this might be the right time to promote your company. Okay, next one. So then we will move to Shenzhen. So this is some brief introduction of the Shenzhen. So Shenzhen is the China's first national innovative city pilot area, and it is included in the first group of national intellectual property right pilot cities. And it is the second highest ranking country in terms of the R&D investment to the GDP ratio. And recently, the Hong Kong, Zhuhai, Macau Bridge was completed in 2017. And this is the world's longest cross-sea bridge. So now you can travel from the Hong Kong to Zhuhai within just less than 1 hour. So it's very convenient to travel between these cities. Okay, next one. Yes. So this is a China high-tech fair focusing on the Smart City Expo. So during the China high-tech fair in Shenzhen, so we are going to organize parallel sections in the China high-tech fair Smart City Expo. So it is joint hosted by the China's State Information Center and IDG Asia that will be held in Shenzhen Exhibition Center during the November 13 and 17. The theme of this year is about smart tech recreations. And the end of the expo are to present about the current construction status and the future development trends of global smart cities, and also the leading effective methods for exploration and practice of smart cities will also be shared through the joint research, discussion, and communication. Okay, next one. Yes, so this is the agenda for the Shenzhen. So after Chengdu, so we will fly from Chengdu to Shenzhen in the morning. Then we will, when we arrive in the Shenzhen, so we will brief you about the events of the China High-Tech Fair and also all the activities that we will organize in Shenzhen. And then we will have a networking dinner with the local partners in Shenzhen. And on Tuesday, so there was an event, it's called the Asia Pacific Smart City Development Summit Forum. The forum is focusing on the digital transformation with AI. This event will also be held during the China High-Tech Fair. And there will also be several parallel sections focusing on the AI and urban development, and also the intelligent manufacturing. And after the parallel section, so we will also invite all the participants to the visit to another exhibition hall during the China High-Tech Fair, and we will also organize other seminars during the fair. And on Friday, we will arrange several business visits to other leading industrial innovators in the Shenzhen to explore the cutting-edge technology that has been developed very rapidly in Shenzhen this year. And then we will have the free tour to the China High-Tech Fair. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is the Asia Pacific Smart City Development Summit. This is one of the forum that we will organize with the local organizer in Shenzhen, and we would like to invite all the participants to attend this forum. So this forum is featured with the following key aspects, including the the forum is think of the digital transformation with AI, and the forum will bring together the government representatives from different areas, including the scientific research and also the high-level person from different enterprise and other from all around the world. And the forum will also strengthen the exchange of the global smart city construction technology. And also it will promote the matchmaking of the government and the enterprise, scientific research, and the finance. Okay, last one, please. Okay, so last but not least, so if you are interested in participating in our matchmaking tour, please go to our website so you can access all the information and to know how to register. And if you have any questions you would like to ask us, so please feel free to send us the email to the ENRICH Center. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Johnny, for your presentation. So now it will be the time for the Q&A session. I was trying to check here. Okay, so we have 2 questions. One from, I'm not sure if this one is a question. It's, I think, more of a comment from Mr. Ferdinand Asher. It says, interoperability paves the way in between remote production 4.0 systems. Burkhard, I don't know if you have any comment to this statement, I guess, from Mr. Ferdinand Asher. I would also ask to the other attendees, if they want to make any questions, please feel free to do it in your questions section so that we can read them now and answer them. Yes, please, Burkhard.
So this was a statement, you say interoperability must pave the way, is that correct?
Yes, yes, pave the way in between remote production 4.0 systems.
Yes, and we were engaged in the 2 largest European projects on interoperability. One was Interop and the other was called Athena or Athena. And there we did look not only on the system interoperability, because this is already covered, but the business interoperability. From business culture to semantic networks, that you understand what the other company is wanting if they have a shipment AV, so what is behind, what is included, what are the protocols that are used. So we have a very rich foundation of 70 software solutions for better interoperability. And we did publish several books. There were, I think, 100 researchers involved, including SAP research and many others from many countries in Europe. So I think there we have a profound European knowledge on interoperability.
Okay, thank you, Burkhard, for your comments. We have here a question also from the Mikko Korkonen, asking if we get if the attendees get the PPT materials after the call. If you would like to receive them, we can send it to you via email after the webinar. Yes, yes. So I'm not seeing here any other question. I don't know if any of the remaining attendees want to take this opportunity once again to make a question. If not, maybe we will end the session for here. But as you know, we have here are our contacts. If you'd like to receive any information, if you have any question about the presentations of today, you can send us later an email to china@enrichcenters.eu, and you can also visit our website, as my colleague Johnny mentioned, to have more information about our matchmaking tour and the current activities that I presented at the beginning of the webinar. You can go to china.enrichcenters.eu to see all the updates about the project. So as we don't have any more questions, I would like to thank you very much to Mr. Burkhard Schallock for being our guest speaker of today and giving a very interesting presentation. To Johnny, my colleague, for presenting us the upcoming matchmaking tour that's happening in November in China. And thank you to all the attendees that joined us for the webinar today. We will talk to you in an upcoming webinar. Please reach us to our email if you have any questions. So from our side, everything. Many thanks to all and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.